Okay, so today we're going to go over our vocabulary words, and the first one is access. If you access information, you get it from a source such as the internet. In order to access the locked room, Brad had to punch in a special number code. So think about a time. Access means you're able to get into something. You have access to get there. Oops. So how do you access information on a computer? How do you think you would access information on a computer? Our next word is advance. When you advance, you move forward or make progress. Many citizens have marched on Washington to advance people's rights. So you might advance in your skills in math. You might advance if you're running and you run past somebody, you're making an advance. So what would you do to advance a cause that you believed in? So think about a cause that you believe in, and how could you make that go forward, or how could you make progress? Next one is analysis. An analysis is a careful examination or study of something. A magnifying glass helped Karina make a careful analysis of the seashell. So analysis is like you're observing something, you're looking at something closely. So how do you do an analysis of information for a report? So if you were doing a report, how would you go and analyze the information in order to write your report? Next word is cite. When you cite something, you mention it as proof or evidence. When doing research, it is important to cite, to identify and cite sources of information. So you cite information so you don't get what is called plagiarizing. What sources might you cite when writing a report about a country? Also, when we're answering our text-dependent questions using the RACE strategy, you are citing your evidence. When you're answering a question and then you give evidence to back it up, that is called citing. Counterpoint. A counterpoint is an opposing or disagreeing point of view. The positive review from one critic was in counterpoint to another's bad review. So one person agrees with something, the other person disagrees. What opinion have you had in counterpoint to that of a friend? Data or data. Data are facts, figures, and other kinds of information. The students gathered data for their experiment by measuring a bubble size. So data or data is when you're recording things that you have learned to keep track. What data would you need to write for a weather report? Okay, next one is drawbacks. So drawbacks are problems or disadvantages. Limited room for passengers and a little trunk space are drawbacks of a small car. So drawbacks are disadvantages, things that aren't so good about something. What are some drawbacks to going on a hike without the right equipment? Reasoning. Reasoning is having the ability to think in a logical way. James used his reasoning skills before deciding on his next chess move. What other situations require good reasoning? So you're trying to think about and analyzing and thinking in a logical way. Okay, so now you're going to go into Schoology and write a sentence based on your vocabulary word.